Hello and welcome to another episode of the Husky Barbu podcast. This is your Husky Barbu Ariel. And I would like to thank the people that listened to my very personal entry of last week, number 54, aka El Desahogo, where I spewed my guts about how lonely I am in New York and how much I miss my kids. My kid. Jesus, already adding another one. Touch my wife yet and I'm already adding another one. Oh. Prophecy? Maybe. Anyway, as you can probably tell, I'm in a little better mood. I went out this weekend and catched a movie. Went into the movie theater and actually bought a movie ticket and went to see a movie, and that movie was Ghostbusters Afterlife. And me being an 80s kid, I really liked Ghostbusters as a kid. And I was curious to see how this honored how this was a continuation of the same story, and just like to give you a non-spoiler review at this moment. Although I am going to go into spoilers, and I'll let you know when. A non-spoiler review is that I'm as an '80s kid, and Egon Spengler being my favorite Ghostbuster. Just because he was the geekiest one and the weirdest one. And guess what? Me geeky, me weird. And so I kind of related to him. So that being said, I found that this movie did an awesome job not only honoring the character of Egon Spengler, but also honoring the actor who portrayed Egon, which it was the late Harold Ramis. Passed away some time ago, way before the movie was made. So I really liked that it all incorporated, the tragedy of real life, and then adding that in. Adding that into what is the story. So I guess this podcast will be just a review of Ghostbusters Afterlife and whatever comes out of my head afterwards, because I never plan for these things. I rather do them all natural and not, very artificially and whatnot. So, without further ado, I'm gonna start doing my Ghostbusters review. Spoilers ahead. So, if you haven't seen the movie and would not like to be spoiled, stop listening right now. Go watch the movie, however you can, and then come back to the podcast, and then we'll share points or compare points, should I say? Anyway, so yeah, the movie is basically a honor or it's in tribute to Harold Ramis and Egon Spengler. The movie starts with Egon. So he's not dead yet. The movie starts with, you kind of guess it's Egon, but you don't know it's Egon because they don't really never show his full face. Where Egon is in the mountain escaping. It seems that he catched a ghost, and the ghost is chasing him through a field, and the ghost manages to knock down the vehicle he's running to, and so he runs back to his farm. Egon owns a farm in the middle of nowhere in Oklahoma, which is odd for a scientist of his caliber, but, the movie goes on to explain all this stuff. And then he kind of sets a trap, but the trap didn't work. So the end is that the ghost actually kills Egon and makes it look like a heart attack. And then we find out that by hook or crook, I guess, Egon had family, had a kid, had a daughter, and that daughter procreated two kids, one teenager, another preteen, the little girl, which is in the trailers, the ones that are driving the vehicle and shooting the proton packs. So they're the grandsons of Egon, and the mother is the daughter of Egon, and they get the news that they inherited Egon's land, and right from the get-go, you notice that the house is kind of haunted. You notice the pile of books, just like in the first Ghostbuster movie. You get that reference right away when you see it. You see that the little girl has a chess table placed near her bedside, and they start playing chess. A ghost starts playing chess with her, but the ghost is being kind of friendly with her, although you don't see the ghost. You never see the ghost until the end. And the ghost is kind of like guiding her, showing her where things are in the house and in the farm. And the little girl finds, all of Egon's old stuff. Finds his proton packs, finds the uniform. Ecto-1 is actually found by the teenager, and the woman the mother couldn't give two shits about it because she is pissed at Egon because apparently Egon wasn't Father of the Year material and never, kind of abandoned her, to say the least. And like, he wasn't there. And you're like, wow, I know Egon was like introverted and not necessarily the most communicative person out there, but that's kind of a dick move from a guy that, as a child was my hero. But then in the end, you find out why. So, I'm not going to go both blow for blow on the movie. It's just that, the kids just kind of discover who they are and who they're descendant of. And the little girl is actually more psyched about it, and because she is basically Egon, female version, kid version. She is exactly like Egon, the quirks and everything, doesn't know how to joke, she takes everything serious. She even wears Egon's glasses. At one point, Egon kind of shows her, Egon's ghost kind of shows her where his glasses are. It's kind of fun, and the movie is kind of like an homage to Egon, the whole movie. And at the end, you discover that if you've watched Ghostbusters Part 1, it's basically the plot. It's like rinse, repeat on this one, Ghostbusters Afterlife, because it's the exact same monsters from Ghostbusters 1. It's just that Egon rather, discovered that the same architect that built the building in New York, he built a temple inside a mountain for the Ghost area. So, same president. So Egon found that out years ago. He tried to tell the other guys. The other guys didn't believe it. So he moved there and took most of the equipment of the Ghostbusters just to hold down that monster. And he had to kind of prepare the trap to trap Gozer for once and for all. Because this asshole, the architect, by the way, his body was laying there inside the mountain. And I'm jumping a bunch of whole other stuff. I'm jumping the whole Paul Rudd becoming... Basically, Paul Rudd gets the Rick Moranis treatment in this one. If you saw the first one, you will get that reference right away. So Paul Rudd is basically delegated to the Rick Moranis treatment. Although... not as naive or stupid as the Rick Moranis character, but he gets the Rick Moranis treatment nonetheless. So he is the male dog. And Egon's daughter turns into the dog, the female dog. And, there was a nice explanation when they were trying to explain to the kids, like, what's going to happen to mom and the professor, who, by the way, that's the title of Paul Rudd's character. They're like, what's going to happen with them when they turn into dogs? And this kid, whose literal name is Podcast, his literal name is Podcast, because he's recording a podcast 24/7. And this kid says, well, at least they're going to get to third base. I love that. I love that line. Anyway. So, basically, the little girl, at one point in the movie, she got to call, the old phone number for the Ghostbusters because she found the phone number via an old YouTube video of the old commercials that the Ghostbusters used to do. She called the phone number. The phone still works, but it's now on Ray's, paranormal shop, which is not turning a profit. And Ray gives the longest expedition under God's green earth to fill in 30 years of history of what the hell has been happening to the rest of the Ghostbusters. Basically, we find out that we find out that Peter Venkman is back in academia. He's back doing academia. we find that Ray is taking a paranormal shop, and well, Egon is dead, and that's when he finds out. And I'm missing someone. I'm missing someone. Oh Jesus, forgive me, Lord. Oh God, the Ernie Hudson character. Yeah, God, forgive me. The Ernie Hudson character is rich beyond his wildest dream. He's fucking Bill Gates rich, and he's done good for himself. But everybody else is like, surviving. Uh, so the thing is that because fruit of that little phone call, the original Ghostbusters showed up right on time to save the day. But they still needed help. And, going back to the trap that they set up, I'm explaining this very badly, by the way. I know that, but I'm tired and it's late and I just want to get this in. And they set up a trap for Gozer again, and they have a confrontation. I love the little nod to back to the old one where Gozer asked Ray again, "Are you a god?" And the rest of the guy, Winston, Jesus Christ, I'm gonna slap myself in the face so hard. Winston, that's the name of the Ernie Hudson character, Winston. So Winston and Peter look at Ray like, Ray, you're not gonna fall for this one again. Like, come on, Ray. And Ray finally, after almost 40 years, answers correctly. Yes, I'm a god. And everyone is like, yeah, we're all gods here. We're very important people. So that was a great little nod from the past. But the best part that I found is that when the thing got hurt bad, that seems that the bad guy, that Gozer was gonna win, all of a sudden Egon's spirit shows up. And I don't know how they did this CG, but it was done perfectly. I mean, hindsight, maybe because I saw it in the movie theater and not on, an HD quality, like 4K camera, whatever the hell. But seeing it in the movie theater, seeing how they did Egon's face with the hair and everything. It wasn't young Egon, by the way. No. They made Egon age appropriate next to the guy, so made Egon like in the age that he died. So, and his hair is all white and everything. And his face is kind of bushy because he grew out some beard. And you see Egon helping his granddaughter hold the proton pack and shooting the protons to Gozer, the Gozerian. And then Egon aligns himself with the rest of the Ghostbusters. And that scene just pulled my tears out, because seeing all four guys together again, and all of them looking at the side, looking at Egon like one more time, like, wow, we're all four of us are back together again. And they managed to make the trap work, the trap that Egon had prepared. So in the end, Egon was redeemed because everybody in the town knew Egon. They didn't even know his name. They all called him Dirt Farmer. That was his name, Dirt Farmer. And everybody thought he was crazy, including his own daughter and his family. Then it turns out that he was actually preparing to save the world. And because of his plan, because of everything he did, although he sacrificed everything, he sacrificed his daughter, he sacrificed his family, he sacrificed everything. He prepared everything in order to save the world. And Egon ends up looking as the hero, although he's dead. And also, you see that when the daughter finally, or the mom of the kids goes, Egon's goes kind of guides her to go down to his lab where he had everything. He shows her where he actually had pictures of her. So he's been actually keeping tabs on her since she was a little girl, showing her that he did care. It's just that, saving the world, kind of important job. Like if I love you and I want to keep a future for you, I kind of have to keep this world running. So sorry, my bad that I'm not there, but these fucking ghosts, I have to deal with it. So yeah. And then in the end, we get this little beautiful moment where the guys talk to Egon. Egon never talks. He never talks. He just shows up, his spirit form. The guys talk to him like, man, we're sorry that things ended up the way it did. You should have talked to us. And Egon was like just nodding his head. And then the beautiful moment is that when Egon manages to hug his daughter, and then he finally disappears. And that was a very touching moment. I mean, even Egon's granddaughter was crying. So basically, an indication that we probably might have more ghost busting to do in the future. And Ecto goes back to New York. Everything goes back to New York, it seems, and they set up, additional scenes after the credits where Winston buys out the franchise, I guess, and restores. He's going to restore Ecto 1. And he buys out back the old firehouse because, by the way, the firehouse had turned into a Starbucks because they couldn't maintain it because I guess they ran out of ghosts to bust. But it seems that business is going to be back and booming and more than ever. And I guess the Spanglers are going to be part of it for what I see. So that's my review or telling of the story of Ghostbusters Afterlife. I skipped a bunch of shit. And look, it's not the most perfect movie in the world. And to those who like to criticize movies, like trying to nitpick every little fucking area, like, good luck with that shit. It's human made, so if it's human made, there's bound to be problems. Is bound to be having issues. So, what I would say is that it was a good movie. I liked it, and if you want to give it a review system, I'm gonna go with a standard 8 out of 10, and to me that's the maximum because the 10. Let's just say is the unobtainable God level of brilliance. I'll just give it an 8 because, or whatever. I don't give it anything. I just like it. Whether you like a movie or not. I don't get this whole thing burying movies and burying shit just for shits and giggles because we think we're so high class. We just have the best tolerance for shit. Look, if you don't want to watch a movie, you don't watch a movie. If you like a movie, go like a movie. And if other people don't like that movie, who gives a shit? It's you got what you wanted out of that movie, and that's it. If they don't like it, tough shit. Who gives a shit? All right? You enjoyed yourself. I enjoyed myself watching this movie. I liked it. I cried a little, and I liked it. There. And as a Ghostbusters fan, satisfied. Did they rehash the ending practically using, copy pasting the villains from the first one? Yeah, but kind of made sense. Kind of. I mean, and, it's not like that kind of shit hasn't been done before. Looking at you, Star Wars. So, yeah, I liked the movie. I liked it. And there concludes my unbelievable rant about, and spoiler-filled rant about Ghostbusters Afterlife. Hope that you guys, if you see it, you do enjoy it. If you don't bark at me. Bark at whoever made it. Or that's just your taste, and you're entitled to your opinion and you can have it. If you don't like it, you don't like it. If you do like it, you do like it. That's it. But in my personal opinion, I liked it. So yeah, that's my review for Ghostbusters Afterlife. Very coherent and everything, Yeah. Anyway, follow me on the social media. I guess all social media is Husky Bamboo Pod, Instagram and Twitter. Also, the page of the podcast is huskybamboopod.com. And there you would find all the past podcasts that I've done so far and the commercial that I recorded. Woohoo. So, I guess I'm concluding. Yeah, I'm going to keep this short and sweet because, it's not like it's the most listened thing ever. But anyway, thank you for those who are listening, and thank you for following me. And thank you for listening and following me. I already said that, but I guess I really mean it. So, once again, thank you for listening. This has been the Husky Bamboo Podcast. This has been Ariel. with the most coherent, direct approach of reviewing a movie, Ghostbusters Afterlife. Go check it out if you like it. If you don't, then you don't. Anyway, this has been the Husky Barbu Podcast. This has been Ariel. Goodbye.